Sorry. Oh, I'm sad now. Do you hear me? I'm so sad. I was playing Christmas music. Oh, I forgot. Hello, everyone. How are you? And hopefully you can hear me good now. But it is so good to be back with you. I have been a very, very busy person. And I'll have to turn on the Christmas music a little bit later because I was very excited to play Christmas music for you. And didn't have the microphone on. Hi, Kathy Klein. So Lisa is here. Yay. Hello, Miss Lisa. You wouldn't believe it, Lisa. I've got your website up because today we're going to talk about your website. And I'm so excited because Lisa Capon is doing the most amazing paint your quilt mystery. And it is looking so, so great. So it's one of my hopes that I'll have time this week to hurry up and try to play catch up with her because it is fascinating. So there's Edwin. She's back again. Sorry, my light belt box fell over. Luckily, it's an inexpensive one, so don't worry. But anyway, yeah, I'm going to be showing. I've got your website, Rachel White, who is a wonderful landscape quilter from England, fiber artist. And then I have because Lisa's mystery is called Paint by Letters Mystery. And I have watched the first 2 episodes are very exciting. So I put on Miss Lisa when I'm getting ready to fall asleep, and I have a little holder for my tablet. And oh my God, I could watch her paint all day. She's a very graceful painter, and it just has a calm rhythmic to it. It's like, oh, she's good for my nerves. So Merry Christmas almost. We're getting there. Mark picked me a couple big bunches of holly off of my holly tree. Normally, I try not to bother my holly tree. I asked Mark to tighten up the camera, and he did. Oh, in fact, Lisa, I was talking about you yesterday, talking about you do the best camera work, the best editing of anyone I've ever seen. And you're pretty awesome. I would like to give online classes, but I would have to get some better camera equipment. But I love, Lisa can be in a frame talking to you and doing whatever activity with a close-up camera. It's amazing. So, sorry, you didn't know, Lisa, that it was going to be Celebrate Lisa Capon Day, but it's exciting to watch you work. So, okay, I have got a ton of things. I mean, so many good things. Like, I'll give you a hint of all we're going to see today. If I can get around this light box. Okay, we're doing all kinds of Christmas crafts. That's what we're doing this whole month. Hold on, let me get this light box up because if not, it's going to cause problems. I want one of the new light boxes, but I got this for $10. Somebody was trying to get rid of it. And you know me, have something you don't want, I'll take it. Anyway, this is the first little peekaboo I'm going to give you. So I bought these inexpensive candles from either Joann's or Michael's, and not very expensive, okay? Well, look what I turned it into. Do you see what I turned it into? And would you believe that I turned it into this with just a screwdriver and a couple bottles of acrylic paint? Is this the coolest? So this is what I did yesterday afternoon. Then this is some of the holly Mark got me from the tree out front. And then I wrapped some twine, some jute string around it. But is that cool? Does that look like a birch log or what? And see, I scratched around the top of the candle so that when the acrylic paints would embed in there, it looks like I wrapped the candle with actual birch bark. But I have something you need to know. No birch trees were harmed in the making of this candle. Hello, Susie Blake is here. Hi, Miss Susie. We've missed you. So anyway, is this cool? And what I did, well, I'll tell you later exactly how I went from this to this. Is that awesome? So, like I told you, I love quilting. Quilting is my heart and soul. But crafting, boy, that's exciting. And it's easy and fast and simple. And for a person like me with concentration problems, it's a quick, what do you want to say? Quick return for your money. Quick, what's the word I'm trying to say, people? Oh, now, Carol, that is a big compliment for Miss Carol. You wait to see the show and tell picture she sent in. She's our Renaissance Carol. I mean it. I have never seen, I'm used to being the person who does basket weaving, who does china painting and all of this. I even one time wanted a decorative floral thing out of wood for one of my cabinets, and I carved that. But you wait until you see Miss Carol. I didn't realize that I have a soul sister out there, and it's Miss Carol. So I will be showing you. Oh, I was wondering, I'm seeing little things floating around, and I promise I haven't had anything to drink except water. But I realize now it's this little necklace because I dressed up for Christmas for you guys because instant gratification. Kathy Klein, you saved me. That's exactly the word I was looking for. Like I tell people, the Rolodex sometimes spins, but it doesn't stop for me to see the right word. But you know what? I'm here and happy and healthy. And Mark had a good result for his colonoscopy and all of that good stuff. And I even have a picture of him just coming out of anesthesia. I know he'll love that I'm showing you that. But I warned him. I told some of you that the last time he came out of anesthesia, he started dancing for the nurses. I told him what one of you recommended to me. If you dance this time, I'm going to whip out my cell phone and film it for my ladies. So he didn't quite dance, but I got the next best thing. All right, guys. So I have so many things. First is the quilt of the week. And I love Christmas quilts. I love them. And this is the quilt that I told you when I made it. To try to find the right kind of button was going to be impossible. So let me grab something real quick to show you. Please remember that you can create. Buttons are not magic. And you can create whatever you need. When I made my watermelon quilt, this necklace is shining all over me. When I made my watermelon quilt, I made all of my watermelon seed buttons because I wasn't going to pay $1 a piece for them. You know I'm cheap. So here are the little hollyberry buttons that I made for that quilt probably 20 years ago. But I love, well, now maybe it wasn't that long. Maybe it was just 15 years ago. But where I have the holly, I decided I wanted hollyberries. And so you had your booster this week. Yay, Polly. Yay. Good job, sweetheart. Thank you. Thank you. So just remember, I just had a pack of polymer clay and made the buttons. And no, Maisie, let me grab this button. Maisie thinks she needs to check it out. Don't throw the buttons over your shoulder, people. I'm so excited today. I apologize, but I was up till the wee hours of the morning trying to get things ready. So anyway, but make your own buttons. You have the capability of, if you need a certain thing, make it. Improvise. That's the beauty of crafting. I'm also going to turn on my fan because I'm a little warm. Now, I was just telling you about Miss Lisa Capin's quilts and how calm she is. And I just showed you the exact opposite. But hi. So now I think, oh gosh, I've got a few things to show you that I got from Michael's, and I'm thinking this is my last craft order unless there's a super sale on something I really have to have. But I've got a few things to show you there. I've got all kinds of ornaments to show you and tell you about. And wait a minute, I forgot to turn on my little Christmas tree. So remember that I got this from Target. This is my $5 favoriteest thing. So I have the Christmas tree going today. I'm not sure where I'll sit it, but it will be here. All right. So I've got so much to tell you about. Let me, if you don't mind, I'm going to get my agenda because I'm a little excitable today. All right. So I bought some things from the craft store to show you. And every week, every Sunday, no, I didn't embellish the top. I would love to think I could, but I've got a picture of my daughter's homecoming dress that I made her that I embellished with sequins. So I'll show you that at show and tell. But isn't that lovely? I don't know where I found this. Maybe at Women Within or Romans. And it's so pretty. I love this thing. But thank you for asking. Cheryl Lemon is here. And so this week's art quilt, I'll show you my progress. I want to send a thanks out especially to Jody, to Sheila, and there was one more person who helped me decide to redo the sky. The best phrase of all was, your sky is overwhelming the bottom part of your quilt. And the bottom part of the quilt was my favorite part. So I'll show you what they told me and what I'm trying to do. I'm going to warn you, it's at the awkward adolescent age. So I will make it come together. I worked on it yesterday during our Jitsi. And I want to thank Sonia, Jody, and Jeannie, and Patricia. Was there any more? But I want to thank you for spending your time sewing with me yesterday morning. We're going to do it again this coming morning, so let me tell you about that. So Mary Mayhem is doing, and besides Lisa doing her current Christmas paint by number, or paint by letter. And you wait, she has, and her instructions are perfect. But Mary Mayhem, my longtime friend, who I've been doing her Christmas mysteries for 15 years at least. And I'm not sure what that little dog, let me, hold on a dog. Hey, please be quiet. What happened is Blossom got on her bed and Maisie's upset about it. Anyway, but longtime friend, Mary Mayhem is doing a New Year's Day mystery quilt, and I'm so excited. And so she's already, you go to marymayhem.com, you sign up for free for her newsletter, and then she'll send you emails giving you each step as they come. She, in my opinion, does some of the best mysteries out there, and she's done them for years. Schoolhouse Quilts. She used to be on, is it Planet Patchwork or Patchwork Planet, which is now no longer existing, but she was there like headline mystery quilt maker. So she's very talented, very lovely lady. So I've got the first two instructions. She's so good at giving you instructions because, one of the problems that with a mystery quilt is you don't know how it's going to come out, so you're not sure what to use for fabrics and what color scheme or whatever. But she does a great job of giving you very detailed information so that you can make the best decision about what fabrics to choose. And I have not had a single one of her mystery quilts that I didn't love. So, but anyway, so I'm going to pull my fabrics. We started our Jitsi yesterday testing it. And then this coming up Saturday, which is December 11th, we are going to sit down and cut the fabric, prepare for the mystery. Please don't feel like you have to do the mystery to attend our Jitsi. Just bring whatever you want to work on or just sit and chat with us. Patricia yesterday was lovely. She just sat and chatted with us while we were sewing. So you can do anything. You can paint, you can crochet, you can clean your sewing room, whatever you want to do. We just enjoy our time together. But I will be cutting out all of the steps to do the New Year's Day mystery. Now then, the Christmas Day, she's going to come out with her next set of instructions. And so some of us are going to be busy Christmas Day. Christmas is on Saturday this year. I had a little bit of a dilemma because, if I hate to do a Jitsi, I don't want to do a Jitsi on Christmas Day. That puts some of you in a precarious position. But then the next day is Sunday. And for those of you who go to church, I really didn't want to get in the way of you going to church on Christmas Sunday. So let me know what you think. But then the only thing I could do is schedule it because then the next week is New Year's. So we have to because she's going to give us steps to do. And if you get everything prepared and you get all the steps done, then with good luck, you can get the top mostly done the day of the mystery because it's a one-day mystery, New Year's Day. Now, so I set a tentative Jitsi for Monday morning. I worry some of you might have to work outside the home. And so anyway, let me know if there's something else you can do. But the good news is New Year's Day, I don't even make black-eyed peas anymore, but maybe I will this year. I don't know. But New Year's Day, I'll let Mark relax and watch TV. We don't party New Year's Eve, so it's no big deal. And I am going to be here for Jitsi starting at 9:30. I'm going to aim to start. Normally, her clues come out at 10 a.m. and every 2 hours after that. So I'm going to be here. I can help you. I can answer some of your questions. When she used to be on Planet Patchwork or Patchwork Planet, she had a chat there, a live chat while she did it. But I'm not sure. I don't do Facebook, so I don't know if she has a chat there or what. And I don't want to take away any of her fun. But if you would like to just come keep me company while I do it, or if you want to give it a try. I am a big fan of mystery quilts because that's where I really learned to become a better quilter. When you're given a pattern and you pull all these fabrics and you're overwhelmed with all these steps, cutting it out, labeling it, and then your focus becomes on the final result. What I love about a mystery quilt, you can only focus on one thing at a time, that one step that you're doing. And this really helped me become a better quilter because I paid attention to the step I was working on instead of constantly rushing through to get to the finish line. So I'm hoping that you might have that same experience as that. So we have Jitsis to recap. we have Jitsies for this coming up Saturday. And a Jitsi is like a Zoom meeting. You get to talk. You can have your camera on or off. And it's nice because you don't have to type in. I'm not going to do a show. It's just going to be us getting together and talking. I think Jody will tell you I didn't overwhelm her with too much talking because, it was kind of nice for me to sit back and I'm not in charge. So I just have fun with everyone. So, but if you want to talk, feel free. I enjoyed when other people talked and gave me a chance to be calm. So we're having a Jitsi this coming up Saturday, the 11th. Then we're going to do Monday, the 27th. And then New Year's Day, bright and early, we'll be here. And I plan New Year's Day. I think the last clue comes out at 2 p.m. So I'll probably be here till 4. I usually get all my lunch and my snacks and get set up and make a day of it. The other Jitsis before that will probably be 2 to 3 hours, something like that. All right. Now, my Christmas block of the month is all done. It's underneath there. If we have a chance, I'd like to give you a little primer on taking the paper off for paper pieced items. Nobody ever tells you how to take the paper off, so I thought I would give you a few little hints. Okay, now the most exciting thing today is to show you all the things I made and give you a little idea of how to make them. Very easy. If I can make this stuff, you can do it. I promise. Then we have the swirly tree quilt. There is the pattern, and that's an overly large. Whoops. That way. There you go. That's an overly large pattern. You can enlarge it if you want. But I have the free pattern. It's printed out on 4 sheets. I got my inspiration from some people who did lovely swirly quilts. What I did is I had already seen that. So this one I made my own. And so they're all different ones out there, but this one is totally my own drawing and my own take on it. And that way I do that so I can share it with you at no cost. Because this is an expensive time of year. I do understand. So if you're a member of our group, the files are right on the group. If you're not a member of our group, send an email. Let me type this in real quick. ourtimetoquilt at twc.com. I also would like to tell you I'm looking for a Sunday moderator. So if it's something you might enjoy, if you can, like little things like just then when I say send it to our email address, if you could type in ourtimetoquilt at twc.com. Just, saying hello. If someone has a question I don't see, bring it out to my attention. But I am looking. So if it's something you think you'd like, speak up and tell me. And that would be nice. It just kind of makes it a little easier so I can focus. And you might not want to do it all the time. So it might be good to have 2 moderators in here too. All right. So we got the Christmas block of the week all done. I'll show you how to take the paper off that. And then I'm going to get it on my quilt frame, try to get it ready by next week. So I'm looking forward to that. The baby blanket I was making for my great nephew was delivered, and I already got the thank you note. So that feels good to get things done. Now, I was sitting here today thinking about some things, and I said, you know what? I was feeling a little anxious about all the projects I have in the works. And I thought, I wonder if good way to go, Miss Marcia. You are 67 in the new year, New Year's Eve. Oh, happy birthday, sweetheart. So I was sitting here thinking, I wonder if y'all are feeling anxious about some projects that you have that you really want to get done, and sometimes you feel distracted. So I'm going to do a little challenge for us. And I want you to think about it these next few weeks. And I want you to think about what is one project you would like to get done. And I want you to drop me an email and tell me what that project is that you would like to get finished. And then you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put a little list up on our site to just, and it's not to shame anyone, but it's to help inspire you to see your name up there in that project and go, you know what? Yes, I want to get that done. I would like to think for me, it's my Jenny Beyer Moon Glow quilt. I'll have to see. I've got so many things, but it doesn't, pick, just think, maybe it is something you just want to do for you. But what is that one quilt project? It could be crocheting. It could be cross stitch. It could be applique. It could be a painting you want to finish. What is that one thing that's really you really want to do that would make you feel good about yourself and make you feel excited for the new year? So if you would think about it and try to send me your item that you think you'd like to do, we're going to have that as our New Year's quilting resolution. And if you just shoot me a little email and say this, hi, I'm so-and-so, and this is the project I really want to get done. And that way it'll I thought just thinking about that made me feel better. Instead of feeling like I'm always overwhelmed and running behind, just saying, I could do that made me feel better. So, all right, that is your job to do. Then, Bonnie Hunter has a new mystery. So I'm going to show you Bonnie Hunter's website, Rachel Wright's website, Lisa Capin's website, her YouTube site, and show you some great, exciting activities. And if any of you run across good opportunities for blocks of the month or whatever, keep us posted. Rachel Wright, I learned about from our dear Polly. And in fact, she has a couple others. And I'm going to make sure each week I take you to a site that somebody recommends. All right. And you've done a great job sending in pictures for our show and tell. You wait till you see some of our beautiful work. All right. So I think now that I've given you an overview of what we're going to do, I think maybe I better wait on the swirly quilt. Give me just a second here. Now my fan is making me cold. Let me turn it down. All right. I've noticed that I have more hot flashes lately. I'm thinking maybe it's a lot going on. So this week, my daughter's having a tooth removed, and she's going to have some reconstructive surgery. And so I'm going to take her to that. And then I'm having another cancer recheck, which I'm not even worried about. And after this time, then it's just once a year. I can deal with that. All right. So I got a bunch of these wooden flat ornaments from Michael's, I believe, for about $5 something for 12 of them. Okay. Last year, I had ceramic discs. You know what? I'm going to stop something just one moment. I haven't checked to see who's here. So let's see all who is here. Okay, Sonia. Oh, sweetie. Boy, does she have a beautiful machine. She loves her machine. And there is Carol grabbing her tea. Oh, hot tea would be wonderful. My throat's feeling a little scratchy. So when you have a chance, just make me a cup. And Polly's here. Alberta Powell. I have some photos from Alberta, some great photos. Mary Jane Ellinger. Welcome, Mary Jane. We're glad to see you. And just to tell you, if you would like to join our group, or if you would just like to participate in our Jitsies, just send me an email also at ourtimetoquilt I love our group, at twc.com. Oh, this is a good time, too, to tell you, some people apologize that they haven't been to the live streams lately. Don't worry about that. You know, our lives get busy, things ebb and flow. That's fine. But I hope that even if you don't get a chance to make the live streams, you'll stay in the group because we have like 76 members. And we really can then get together and bring a lot of information and joy to each other. So don't worry a bit. So Debbie's here, but welcome, Mary Jane. We're happy to see you. We hope you'll come back. Kathy Klein, Marcia Form, Polly, Carol. I see Kathy Klein on all like, oh, it's amazing. I'll go to one, she goes to the big names too, like Alex Anderson, and I love seeing her name. Carol, Lisa Capon, Edwinice, hoping she's feeling much better. And Debbie, let's see, Susie Blake. How wonderful to see Susie Blake. Oh, this is great to see all of these names. Lisa's here. Hi, sweetie. You're never late here. We don't have rules or anything. We just enjoy each other's company. So good to see my Cheryl Lemon. As soon as I get my car fixed, I'm going to go see my Cheryl Lemon. So let me see. Jody is here. Jody's amazing, working on so much. Oh my gosh, you wouldn't believe. There's so much. She made a king-size flannel bed quilt, and that's going to be wonderful. Oh, with this cold weather coming. So don't get nervous about being old, Marcia. We're all in the same boat. Promise. I promise you. So it is so good to see all of you. So let me see. Okay. Oh, thank you, Miss Cheryl. All right. So anyway, I buy these wooden little flat things. These were Prime this year, and I thought, why not? Saves me a step. And so I went online trying to find cute, funny, unique Christmas ornaments. And this is what I found for this year. I'm trying to let it come into focus. This 2021, it has the vaccine. It has 6 feet apart. Curbside delivery, TV symbols. But I'm going to make one of each of these for my children because I did that last year too. It's just kind of fun to kind of commemorate something that was happening. So I'll show you one more time. Whoops, let me get that light shining on it. But this one was really, really cute. So what I do is I print it out, best quality on paper. Then I take glue and rub the glue on. Then I put this, then I carefully line up the paper. Then I take a smooth edge, like a postcard or credit card or something, and just smooth it out so there's no bubbles in there. Then once it dries, I start putting the Deco Art glaze, acrylic glaze on. And that stuff's great. Now this just has one coat. I'll put 2 to 3. Then I take some silver metallic paint and paint the little top. And once this is done, then what I'll do is put the family name. Like if this is for my daughter, I'll put Becky and her kids on it. And then I'll finish it all, put a nice ribbon hanger on it, and they've got a little gift. And the neatest thing is my daughter Katie, told me last week, we put our tree up. We had such fun looking at all the ornaments you made us last year. So that's fun. Now this one, here's one I did. And I just found this picture. What I do is I edit. Any picture I find, I edit. I lighten the picture. I focus it to make it sharp as I can. And then I resize it. And I was good at guessing the resizing size. I'm going to have 2 alike that are going to be for my new grandsons. And on the back, I'm going to put a picture of them and the year. And that way they'll have something every year from their Nana. So that's that. And then, of course, another one of these. How cute. Then this, just because it was, I love this, I love snowmen. And it's hard for me not to have the reflection in them. But here's a cute little snowman. Now, this, some of the pictures are like in multiples, and I just crop it down to the one I want. This is the one I showed you earlier. My son and his wife, who are professional musicians. And I put the gold on the edge, and I shrunk this free music you can get online, shrunk it, printed it, and then glazed, and you'll see the shine on it where I glazed it. So, besides what the little bit that it cost to print the paper, and for the glaze, which is very minimal, for $5, I'm going to have 12 of these wonderful ornaments. Okay, so that is that one. And then this year I bought metallic paint, and what I was excited about is I also got it in blue, red, then I did gold and silver. So let me show you how they came out. Now, I poured the metallic paint in there. If it was too thick, If it was too thick, I added a couple little drops of water to it to help thin it. Sometimes I had to put water in the ball, then put a napkin on top, and just shake, 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 and that way it helped thin the paint. Now, honestly, if you just want to do colors, it's cheaper and easier to buy them already colored. These are plastic, and I took these and turned them to this. The silver, whoops, luckily they're not breakable. The silver came out the prettiest. You can see the metallic flecks in it. The gold, I have another gold, so I'm going to try that one too. The red didn't come out quite as metallic as I was hoping for, but the blue, hold on one second. Maisie! Maisie! She's not going to be allowed down next time. She is breaking the rules. So there is a plant called the lantana. And if you've ever seen the berries that come after the flowers, it's like my favorite color in the whole world. Well, look what I found. Now, you're not going to probably be able to see it as good as it really is, but this is lantana berry blue. I love this color. Love, love, love. So what I'm going to do with these is decorate the outside. I might do some of my seams, like especially on the silver one, or I might just do words like believe and joy and Mary, things like that. Put a ribbon on them, and then I've got little ornaments. So all of this, easy, 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 and fun. It just takes time to jiggle it all around to get everything coated. Then what I do is open the paint bottle, sit the ornament in the top of the paint bottle so any excess paint drips back into the paint bottle. And then they're ready. All right. So, while I was at the doctor's office waiting for Mark to get his test done, I took my Dorset button that I had started back at the retreat, and I've just about finished it. The puffy paint sounds exciting. I think I just need to know what kind of puffy paint. So, and I wanted to tell you, the paint that I got this time, metallic paint, because not all acrylic paints work well on plastic. This was multi-surface. It worked wonderfully. It really stuck to the inside ball. Because before, when I would turn the ball upside down to drain, sometimes it would drain too much and leave bare spots again or thin spots. This multi-surface, and on the top it says for glass, wood, or metal. I've got that made, so it made a huge difference. But anyway, here is my little Dorset button that I've just about finished. Just wanted to show you I'm still doing that. And I wanted to show you that I have paint pens that I will be, and make sure you really shake them good to get that little ball that's inside to loosen up the paint, mix it thoroughly. But I've got white, black, silver, gold paint pens that I'll use to write on the outside of the balls. Oh, and there's something else I wanted to tell you about that. Let me see. Hopefully I'll find it. It should be here somewhere. Oh, there it is. I love, love, love working on plastic balls, these plastic ornaments. I wanted to know, how can I draw on them so that then I can come in and paint? And because regular ink pens and markers just rub right off, they don't work. I ended up last year getting what's called, some people call China markers, some people call them grease pencils, and these will work really good. See that line that I drew? Let me do a circle so you can see it better. But see that circle? These are wonderful. They stick on they stick on plastic, they stick on glass. They're wonderful. So I just wanted to tell you, and when I bought them off of Amazon, they're hard to find sometimes. I had to end up getting a box of 12. So if you'd like one, come grab it. Because that box will last me forever. All right. So then, with my order that I bought, I got a first little, this is food quality, so I know it's safe, glycerin, because I'm going to try to make my own snow globes this year. Let me show you some other things. One of the things I bought, let me grab everything here. All right. One of the things I bought was a container of plaster of Paris, because often there are things you have to weight down, or you want to take a molded impression of something. When I make the Christmas trees that I'm going to make this year, little Christmas trees, Mark's going to cut a Paulownia stalk for me into wedges to act as the tree base. And you have to kind of weight it down or fill in. Normally, Paulownia has a hole in the center, a naturally made hole, so I can fill it with plaster of Paris. But I can also, look up some of my molds that I already have and make little ornaments and stuff, mix it up, make it myself, and it'll look a little bit like bisqueware, Hold on one second, I'm thirsty. Okay. I think I already showed you that I bought these bottles for paint, because when I paint, it is wonderful. It gets hard to open some of these zippers, but these are the fine tipped metal little paint bottles. I love these. You can put you can put glue in these if you want to do applique or anything you need, very fine touch with glue. You can put paint to do fine paint work on ornaments and things. And so the reason I'm going to show you that too is that I put water in this one, and it's going to help us remove our paper in just a moment. All right. Looking for the other things I bought. I bought some jewelry on sale. My granddaughter is really into steampunk, so I found these for like $1.59, and I'm going to make her a necklace for Christmas. You won't tell her, I'm sure. And I'm going to use these other beads with it, and I thought they were cool. They're called an silver iris glass bead. So these are going to go on that. And then some mercury glass beads. These were all like $1.59. Very inexpensive, on sale. Here are some beautiful silver-plated rondelle buttons and beads. And I wish I could show you. They're kind of, what do you call them? Filigree. There you go. They're filigree. And then I bought just some matte black because I'm not sure I love making Christmas gifts. So I got those. I think that's it for buying because I'm really trying not to spend money right now. And remember a few weeks ago, I told you I had to make a new sign for outside my studio. So I finally got it blown up to the right size. Mark scraped off the old one. I've now glued it on here, and when it's fully dry, I have to come and paint the edges around, and then I will take it outside and use a very hard finish spray acrylic sealer so it'll hold up to the weather for another few years. So this will go back outside my door. But I wanted to let you know I'm working on that. I'm trying to wrap up loose ends. All right. So now we're almost ready to do your show and tell and then work on our swirly tree quilt. In fact, I'll give you another teaser. Here is our swirly tree quilt, this week's project. And I love this. The first time I saw one of these, I said, that is so happy and cute. So I love, love, love it. There's one fail. That is the gold lame only shows up if light is on it a special way. So I've got a whole new colorway ready, and I'm going to actually show you step by step how to make that. The pattern is already on our site, but don't worry. Oh, thank you, Miss Marcia. Those bottles. I got those bottles from, what did I just put them? I got them from Amazon, 20 bottles, and they were like $7, $8. 20 bottles, and they're good. They're nice and sturdy. They've got a nice little top on them. And if you want, they're on Amazon, and I think they're like $7 or $8. There is a number here, hon, if you want to write this down, if this will help you, because I search out quality and price. You know I'm cheap. Oh, here we go. Leo Bro, 20-piece applique bottles. That should help. They are an Amazon item in stock. I had them within 3 to 4 days. So I recommend these. They're great for dyeing if you want to do special little drops of dye. They are great for putting gel glue to do resist. They're great for paints. They're great for just about everything. Okay, so hopefully that'll help. Amazon. Oh, you're very welcome, Miss Lisa. Okay, so I'm doing everything mail order and curbside pickup. I am a fan of curbside pickup, let me tell you. So here I tried Zentangle. On our website, on our groups IO, Bonnie from AQS that's where I first saw this. She had a single star on the latest email newsletter. I don't see it right now. But what I did is, you know me, I'm not going to waste a sheet of paper, cardstock too. I'm not going to waste that for one. So what I did is I wanted to see how many I could fit on there, and 4 was the answer. And so this pattern is on our Time to Quilt groups IO. Or if you're not a member of our group, just send me an email and I'll send you the pattern for free. Miss Bonnie had it free on AQS, and this is my adaptation. It's free from me. So there's supposed to be a Zentangle ornament. And next week, I'll have some fully finished to show you what it looks like. Because you just print it on cardstock, or I don't know if you can laminate something. I don't know. But you have to be able to fold it. When you fold it, it'll give the effect of a 3D star. These are my very first attempts at Zentangle. I'm no good at it. I hear people talk about how wonderful and fun it is, but for me, it just didn't work. Now, I was using a Sharpie fine point. Mark said, those are just too busy. So then what I did is I got my micron and tried one. Oh, I like that better. So I'm going to do some, and I have my micron pen. It's just something with a truly, truly fine tip. You can get Sharpies with a really, really fine tip also. I have one somewhere. But with the micron pen, I think I'll like it a lot better. And then what I'm going to do is take some good old markers and colored markers, and I'm going to color them. Or if you want to, you can use colored cardstock and then just do the Zentangle designs. And then once you fold them, they'll look like a 3D star. Now, I guess if you folded them just right, you could glue the edges together and make a solid one. So whatever, I will show you, and then I will get a hole punch a hole near the top, tie a ribbon in it, and then have some ornaments. And I'm going to try to make them for all my kids too. So this pattern is free. If you write me an email, or if you are a member of our group, just go on site and grab it. Okay. Micron pens are the best. Oh, and while I'm sitting here talking about things, Miss Diana Wright, who sent me a picture, 3 pictures I'm going to share with you, she also sent me a book on Christmas ribbonry. Oh boy, I can't wait to look into this. So one of the weeks we're going to do a project out of the book that Miss Diane sent me. So, I mean, it shows you, look at this gorgeous Christmas rose. It shows you all kinds of things you can do with ribbon. And then that sweetheart that she is, sent me this wonderful panel of Dorset sheep. My daughter has some Dorset sheep. And aren't they sweet? So it would be nice to make something for my daughter from that. So thank you, Miss Diana Wright. You're a sweetheart. Okay, now we'll talk about the candles, and then I think we're done. So you take a candle like this, okay? Inexpensive, cheapest candle. Because remember, I'm going to show you at least 4 different ways of turning this candle into a nice gift. But what you do is you take, what I took is a Phillips head screwdriver, and because that way it gave me a better point. But you just take, I don't want to mess up this candle because this is going to be decorated a different way, but you just take it and run it across, firmly across, to give the stripe effect of birch bark, okay? And I'll show you here. What I did is I went online and I brought up a picture. I typed in birch bark images, and then I picked one I liked, and I started using it. So the first thing you do, and I love this cracked edge, that really gives it the image that you wrapped a candle in actual birch bark. And okay, so then I made the scratches. I looked at the photo image to see how are the scratches set up. Sometimes they're set up this way, and sometimes they're much closer together. Whereas there's somewhere on here an area where they're much closer together. And then what this is in a birch tree is where there one time was a little limb. And so what I did is I took the screwdriver and just kind of pat, 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 made like holes and things that would really hold the paint and look like an area where there had been a branch, okay? And I just kind of did them around the thing. Then, okay, so now I've got it, and I saved my little scraps of wax that came off of this because I am going to need them when I take a candle and embed little pine branches and little holly berries and stuff like that. So I saved that wax, but I also have paraffin, so I'm not too worried. So then the first thing I did was take a dark brown and rub it on the candle, paint it on the candle, and rub it off. I used damp paper towels and went through quite a few. Then rubbed it off, and that leaves the brown inside the little scratches that you made. Then I rubbed it off, and it also leaves a slight tint of the brown on the candle itself. And then I was going to use a lighter brown, and then I had a cream color acrylic that was going to be my final thing. But Mark came in and said, well, I think of those as more white and gray or white and black. So what I ended up doing is switching over to a little bit of black, and I used a tiny little, I know I had it down here, but I used a tiny little bottle of the black paint, those little bottles I showed you. And I went in the individual cracks and gave it a little look of a gray wash. And then I last went over it with a cream colored wash because I didn't want to go too stark. And then I took a dry brush and just dry brushed a little white on it and wiping them off each time so that it's subtle. You want it to look like subtle differences. And there it is. So I ended up spending a couple hours because it's the first time I've ever done that. But I thought that's really pretty. And right now, birch bark any birch bark logs or anything are very, very popular. I had Mark cut some logs that there was a tree he needed to move. Oh, be aware, this does scratch off. It is wax. It does scratch off. So be careful before you put it away for the year. Take and wrap it in tissue paper, but just don't let anything scratch. It will scratch off, but you can touch it up. It's just acrylic paint. So anyway, that's this, and you can burn it. Acrylic paint is non-toxic, but I think I'm just going to sit it on the mantle. And you know what? I should get a small one, maybe another big one and a small one. Make things look better in threes. You know how that is. But that's that from going from a boring candle to that. I think is a pretty cool thing, don't you? All right. All righty. So now I think we've covered all of the goodies that I had to show you. You can download, this is a good time this week, download your Zentangle pattern. See if you have if you don't have cardstock, then print it out on regular paper and glue it carefully. Glue sticks usually work better. Glue it to a piece of very lightweight cardboard or cereal box, something you think you can still fold. And then next week, once I have the Zentangle, once I finish drawing it and once I finish coloring it, then we'll be ready. Oh, and just real quick, I just wanted to show you, this is how I do those ornaments and just printing them and print it on the best quality because that does matter. Normally, I print everything on draft to save ink. This is where you want your best quality because that's how the ornament will finally come out. All right. So here is our swirl tree. And I would love to share the pattern with you. I think it is cute as it can be. It's happy. I even made the star all goofy and happy too. Everything is supposed to be happy about this. Now, when you get the pattern, you will get the master sheet. This is what I'm calling the master sheet. And it has the number of the piece, and it has dark, M for medium, or LT for light, because I think it looks best to have a varied color scheme. But if you want it all in one color, that's absolutely fine. So once you get, that's your master sheet, because think about it. You need something that stays in shape, that tells you where to put everything. Last night when I was cutting an alternate colorway for today's quilt, I would refer to the sheet so I would know, oh, I just used that fabric here. Let me use a different fabric for the one next to it. And but you'll get 4 pages like this that you will print out. And I used Steam 2 in the page form. You can even print, oh, thank you. You can even print it right onto the Steam, but I didn't. And if you know me, you'll know why. Mark said, we can get more of that. I said, I'm not wasting it. I'm cheap. So I took and I used a light board, and I put the Steam over it and drew out. So here are the 4 sheets. They're numbered 1, 2, 3, and 4. And whoops, they get stuck. This gets stuck. And so then what you do is you print them out, you trim them so they can fit perfectly together. You put them together. Now, you can, if you don't have a light board, or you don't want to go to a window, print out two sets of these. Cut one of the sets out into templates to then use and cut your fabric, okay? So you will get this free pattern for Deb's Swirl Christmas Tree. All right, this is the size the pattern is. You can shrink it yourself if you figure out how to do it, or you can enlarge it. But this is the size I wanted to make. And that is the size for this one. That's the size for this one. And I thought it was cute. You can make it smaller, make it into a pillow, whatever. But this is a fusible project. And why is this fusible? Because I want it fast and easy. And this year, I won't have time to stitch this down with invisible thread. It's not ever going to be washed, I'm sure. So for now, it'll be fused. In fact, I haven't even fused it down yet. One of the things that's nice for this project about Steam 2, which I don't get credit for, is just something I had and I like, is you can move it around. And that's important. I wouldn't fuse anything down. Don't iron the fabric onto the part first. Just use your hand, a little friction just for it to hold. Do not iron any of these pieces down to the background until the whole thing is put into place. Because trust me, I changed right up until the last minute. I would look at something and go, oh, that's a little too much like this. So then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to decide on a background. Now, for the first one, I used a swirly gray. And the reason I liked the swirls is because it looked like a snowstorm. And with the bold green, I thought it worked pretty good. It looks all swirly like a snowstorm. Then I decided, you know what? I would like to use some of my favorite colors. So let me point you down to see this. Okay. I picked out blues and aqua blues. to do this one. And I thought, oh, this is going to be pretty. So I'm trying to decide between this batik, grays and whites and whatever that look like snowflakes, or just a whiter version with flowers that still gives. Oh, and here are my darks. I haven't cut these last ones out yet, but here are my dark shades. And so I think that's a beautiful color palette. Again, this doesn't cost you anything but your fusible, and I used totally what I had in my stash. I'm really leaning towards this. I'm just thinking that is so cute. You like that? Hi, Deborah Donnell, sweetie. I know I was torn between that. I was torn. I was placing my fabrics on, it's like the white is pretty, but there's something really cool about snowflakes. So I don't know. Y'all can holler up. You know, I love for y'all to give me your opinion. Whether I follow it, I'll see. But I am a better quilter because of the opinions you share with me. But anyway, so anybody else? Alberta likes the lighter one too. Okay, yeah, I was a little worried with this one. You know, would it not show up as well? Okay, and I'm thinking I might make one or two more so I can. These are so quick and easy to do that I'd like to give these as presents to my kids as well. Like this, I didn't know how well that would show. So now Deborah likes the batik. Aha! You're worried? Yep, Debbie's worried that's going to take it away. Well, I tell you what I'm going to do. Since my first gut instinct was use the cute background, I'll do that. And then if it's not my favorite, then I will make it again in the light background. The ones I see often are on plain white, but I wanted a little interest. So I'm going to try this, and then that way you'll get to see. I wish it was done in like blues and grays instead of tans and grays. So now what I have to do is I know I want to cut a piece. I want to cut a piece this size. So let me, okay. Oh, perfect. Mark just brought in the Paulownia hunks of wood that I'm going to use. And see how they have a hole in the center? Isn't that it's nice in a way because you can put the dowel rod in, but then these are perfect. Thank you so much, Mark. Perfect. In fact, if anything, I think the one that's slightly thicker, but anything like that, that's wonderful. I forgot they have a really strong smell. Paulownia is a tree that's loved in Japan because it's very straight, has a tight, fine grain, but it grows really fast. And you've seen them. You just don't realize they're junk trees out by the highway. And in the winter, in the spring, if they're old enough, they'll have fuzzy purple flowers. They're an unusual little tree. And I was lucky enough to have a volunteer here, and I love them because I keep them cut down. I cut them back every year to the ground. Then when they come back, they make huge leaves, and then they become really beautiful in the garden. Yeah, I wish this didn't have the tan. That's the only thing I'm going to be sad about. Okay, and I'm just going to roughly tear this fabric to get the right size. And you know, you start bigger than you think you're going to need. just to make sure you've got enough space. All right. So let me put this out of the way now. All right, now bring the camera back up. Come on, camera. Okay, here we go. I'm going to get my light box up here. Yeah, I want one of those flat light boxes, but when you buy something really cheap at a good deal, it's like, oh man, I'm going to use this for a few years first. Then I'll justify spending more. Although I don't know if they're any good, but you can find them pretty cheap. All right, here we go. So, whew, that is bright. But what you're going to do is, let me see what side. Some people say there's no right or wrong side on batiks, but there are different sides. So pick the side you want. So now this is what, can you add a little blue to the fabric with dye? Oh, Cheryl, aren't you smart? Yes, I can. I certainly can. I could do a very light dye wash over it. That is a neat idea. Okay, so what you're going to do is you put this down. You put the paper version down first. Then you lay this on, and I'm just going to do a little bit to show you. You'll get the idea. I don't want to bore you to tears, but you lay this and get it centered. Now, if you're afraid of not being able to center it well, let me show you how to handle that. What you would do is you would take, if you look at this picture, the star is only 1 inch away from the top, but the bottom of the tree is 2.5 inches away from the bottom. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, let me see. I'm going to take this and fold it, and I want to make the top of the tree even with the bottom. Oh, hi, Mark. Can I ask you a favor? Those smell terrible. Would you mind? Thank you. I'm going to put them somewhere where they can dry faster, probably in the oven.
Garage.
On a low.
Just leave in the garage first.
Okay, that's a great idea. Thank you, honey. I was sitting here smelling that Paulownia sap. It's like, okay. So, see, I fold this now so that the star on the top of the tree is roughly even with the bottom of the tree. So now what I'm going to do is find the widest to the widest and fold this over. And this is all approximately. You don't have to get all, you know me. It's like, make it easy, make it fun. All right, so now these wide edges are matching up the width, okay? Because the paper that they're on, it's not centered perfectly. But what I'm doing is folding it so that when I get a center, you've got a good center. Oh, I'll tell him, hi, Adele. How are you, sweetie? Do you want me to call you Adele or Angela? I guess Adele, since you have it. I love her name. Sometimes I call her Angela Adele because I think it's such a beautiful name. So anyway, okay. So now I have a center point. And let me see. I've got a marker here. And what I'm going to do so that I don't forget it, let me see. Okay, so that really is the center. All right, right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark this center because I don't want to lose that. Okay, so there is an X at the center. Nice and bright. Aww, that's your wish. Aww. Okay, so here's the center. Now, I'm going to do the same thing with this fabric, okay? Now, if time wasn't an issue and if I didn't have all this junk laying around, I would iron this because that's the easiest way. But I'm going to fold my fabric comfortably in half. Now, none of these lines are probably, this tear line is straight, this tear line, but none of this is perfect. So you just get a pretty good approximation, you know? All right. And then I come up here where I think the center is going to be, and I give it a good press with my fingers. See? So now that's the center top to bottom. Then I'm going to take and roughly put the edges together here. And there's the middle. And I'm going to take my finger and press really, really good right here. There's other little fold marks, but they're not as definite as this. Okay. So now here is the center of this. And you could try a friction pen. I'm not going to use a marker because who knows if there will be something to cover that up. But to reinforce it, I'll just use this pencil because I can erase the pencil. With a white eraser, you can get that pencil off without leaving any marks on your fabric. So now, if I turn this light on, I line up my center marks. And see how I can see that, whoops, maybe it'd be better if you were a little closer, but you can see the orange through the fabric. So I just line my pencil line with the orange line, making sure everything's laying nice and flat. It looks even along the edges and perfectly centered there. There I go. Then I just come and get some pins and pin the fabric. Whoops, let me double check I didn't move it. Pin the fabric to the paper. Okay, let me see. Where is that? Be careful if you're pinning this on a really nice light box. Do not scratch the light box with the pins. And pick this one up. Okay, so now I need a pin down here. You need 4 pins to really hold it stable. Now, let me get this pinned. All right. Here we go. Now, this is where I do wish I had a friction pin, but I don't, so this is what I'm going to do. Oop, that's too thick. I'm going to use something I can see better. Hello, Melissa. Good to see you. I should have pinned this pen the wrong way. It just got me. All right, so I'm going to carefully, not on the outside of the line, but on the inside of the line, I'm going to use this pen to mark it. Since the fabric is kind of busy, I don't want to just use a pencil. I'm afraid it would disappear. So I'm going to take this permanent marker. Now, you can't do this if you're doing very light fabrics because it'll show through. But I'm using the inside of the line because then that way the fabric piece that I already cut will cover that line. Okay? And then let me just do a couple more real quick because then I want to show you how I put them on. All right, here I come. Now, I'll do about 4. And this is all you do is if you don't have a light box, don't worry. Just go to your window, tape the paper copy onto the window itself or the glass, and then tape your fabric up over that. Now, I'm going to write the number if I can see it through. 4, what is this one? 2, and 1, and 3, and 5, because it's really important that you mark all of your template numbers because that's how you're going to know. This one's number 6. All right, so there, I've done enough of that. Now, I will turn this off. Get it out of the way for the fun part. Okay. And then I will come back and show you there's different ways that you can make. Okay. And what did I do with my, oh, here we go. I've got a whole bag of lame scraps. So I've got some great colors that I can choose from. I didn't buy all of these, but every time somebody wants to give it away, I grab it. Okay. And here is my star template that is already on the Schema Seam 2. All right, so now I'm going to come over here, and then this is where having your master copy works really good. Then I can't, yeah, that's true. I was thinking, well, you can't, that's a good thought, Deborah. Deborah was saying instead of doing all that drawing, I could just lay them and since they stick. Okay, piece number 4. So she was just saying that lay it on the light box and then place them. And you know what? That's pretty good thought. Okay. So piece number 4 goes right here. And you just place it where that line is. And there you go. Now, let's try some others. Piece number 1. Where are my little ones? Here's one. And I hadn't yet finished cutting it out. So let me do that really quickly. All right. And I'm going to do a little bit of this, and then we're going to go right to show and tell. I'm very excited. I've got some great things to show you today. And don't let me forget to show you about taking the paper off. Okay, so this is piece number 1, and I just carefully peel off the other backing, making sure the fusible mesh is on the fabric, and you can see it there. All right, and put this right where number 1 is. Okay, then let me quickly find piece number 2. That's piece number 31. And I label everything because here's 2. This is a light shade. This is what I worried about on this fabric. This is not going to show up very well. Now, what I could do, if I still want to keep this background, because see, I can always take these off and go use the other one. But if I want to keep it, I could get a fabric marker and outline it so it shows up better, because that's one thing I was worried about. Okay, and then I want piece 3. Let me see. Let me lay these, turn these over. Piece number 3. I should have had these already face up. Where's piece number 3? I'll find it. 18, 6, 7, 3. Here's piece number 3. So now carefully pull off that backing. But how fun is this? And it's so easy and quick. And if you want, you can use an invisible thread. And you know what I could also do? If I could just make this a slightly darker fabric too. But I'm just kind of going with it. I can always take it off and put it on the other fabric. All right. And do I have piece 6? That's 9. 9. Here's 6. But see how easy this is? What takes the longest time probably is tracing the designs on. And so, you know, you could always print the page onto, you could print the page right onto the fusible, cut it in a size that will fit in your printer. Now, what did I do with number 5? Oh, here's number 5. And so I'm going to use different colorways each time because I think that's the fun with it. At first I did green just to be traditional. And you know, you could even take and embellish these little guys. So here's piece number 5. So I have the pattern. It's free to you. It's very scrap friendly. If you don't have Steam Machine 2, don't worry. Just use whatever fusible you have. It's just you might not be able to pick it up and move it around as much, but that's okay. It will still work beautifully. All right, so this is piece 5, okay. And then piece 8 is going to go down here. Where is my piece 8? 9. It must be a dark one. Yeah, it's a dark one. So, but you'll just kind of continue on down like this. To me, this is fun. I took and drew put the pattern on your design wall since they stick. That's a neat idea. Okay, that's a neat idea. So here we go with the start of the next color version of the swirl tree. Okay, now one quick thing. I wanted to show you a couple little tricky things. Let me get this back up. All right. When you're trying to what did I do with my Steam Machine? All right. So how you and let's pretend this doesn't have to be Steam Machine 2. If it's a regular fusible, then you can just if it's a regular fusible. Yeah, let's say you don't even have a light box. Like I said, print out a second copy, cut out one whole copy of the designs, number and label them. Well, they should already be labeled. Okay, so I'm going to put that over there. But if you wanted to use the fusible and mark it, you would just come right back. Now, there's one thing I must tell you. Oh, I unplugged it. Ha! Let me plug it back in. All right. If you're going to put this on fusible, if you do it this way, all of your shapes will be backwards. Because by the time you do this, they'll be backwards if you write the number on here. So what I had to do, the first time I did it correctly, this time I had to rewrite the numbers on the back of it. So what I would recommend, if you're going to do this method, turn this over. Okay? By turning that over, you're automatically, you can draw it, you can draw the design on, you can number it, and then you peel off the paper on the other side. So just please remember that, that you have to turn one of these over. I draw this on the outside of the line because I use this exact shape once I cut it out to put my fabric on. This is piece number 2, and it's a light shaded piece. So LT for light, 2 light. Okay, let me show you what that looks like. And since I'm so cheap, then when I go to draw the next one, I fit it in as good as I can. And because I don't want to waste, this stuff is precious to me. It's a next project, but I'll just twist and turn this until I can fit them all in the most efficient way possible. And all, but just make sure, please make sure that you understand that you've got to do it mirror image. So write 3 and an M for medium. Okay, so I put all the different light, mediums, and darks on here so that it makes it easy. But now if you cut this shape out, and then you could lay it on your fusible and cut that out, just make sure that the fusible, you've got to make sure that you're not going to end up turning it over. So yeah, fusible, just remember anything you draw like this, it's going to end up backwards. So turn your pattern over, it'll end up being right. Just take that extra moment and figure that out before you do all of them. So like I said last night, I ended up realizing I could still use them, but I had to turn them over, which means I had to redraw the number on the top because I had to peel off the number side because I had forgotten to turn this over. All right, so I think I've given you all that you need for that. And I definitely think this is a cute little project that is well worth a couple hours of your time and a few scraps of fabric and fusible. You could make, fusible paper is expensive. You could make pillows out of this. Now, if I did a pillow of this, I think I would make sure to do the zigzag with invisible thread or matching thread if you don't have invisible. But I think it's awfully cute. Like I said, the star does not work, so I brought down my bag of, like something like this would actually work better because it will show even if there's not light shining on it. But I've got so many shades of this stuff. You know, you could use a pink star on the top or dark green or anything, purple. You could be very creative. The nice thing too is having that fusible under here keeps these from just coming totally apart. But here's a beautiful blue. I don't think, oh, that's nice. Marcia, that's so sweet. And, but anyway, I don't have a red. That's the one color I wish I had. But, okay. Now let's go and look. Let me clean up this. I like cleaning up as I go because otherwise it gets too messy. We're going to go look at show and tell. And when we get back, I would like to share how I take paper off of a quilt. Okay. All right. This is all nice and clean now. Put this away out to the side. And let's go see what you have sent in. Okay. Here we are. Let's get to the computer. Wait a minute. I turned my little tree on. All right. Let me turn off this light. All right, here we go. Whoops. I always do stuff like that. Turn this around. All right. Boy, I have so many exciting things here. All right. Now, before I take you into the photos, now what did I do with my mouse? There we go. I found it. All right. Get this. Okay. Get this. Yeah, there we go. I'll get it ready. All right. All right. First, I'm going to take you and show you Quiltville. Rhododendron Trail Mystery, Part 1. So The first clue came out Friday, November 26th. This is Miss Bonnie Hunter, the amazing Miss Bonnie Hunter. And she loves scrappy quilts. And she has the beautiful Quiltville Inn. In fact, here's her latest picture of Miss Bonnie Hunter. And she has the Quiltville Inn that you can book your quilt group together and go stay there and enjoy a wonderful retreat. Sorry, I'm zipping around so fast. But just to let you know, if you go to quiltville.blogspot.com, you can pick up on the very first clue. Whoops. Okay. There it is. All right. So, okay. Rhododendron Trail, Part 1. I wanted to show you that. Then, Miss Rachel Wright. She is from England, and she does the most beautiful work. I wanted to share this. Thank you so much to Miss Polly for sharing this with us. Now let me go back. I mean, that is all textiles. It's just beautiful. Look at her gorgeous thread painting. Gorgeous. Isn't that amazing? Now look at this undersea. Oh my goodness. So I just wanted to thank Miss Polly because she has really, really turned us on to an amazing, amazing fiber artist. Look at this. Isn't that something? So if you come across an artist of note that you would like to share with us, please, please do, because we benefit from being inspired. All right, so that is Rachel. Let me see. Her site, Rachel Wright, WRIGHT, and her website is called Textile Curator. Very talented woman. All right, so thank you, Miss Polly. Then here is Miss Lisa's YouTube site. And not only does she have a YouTube site, she has a Facebook group that get together and sew together. Let me tell you what, she's a big time quilter in the YouTube quilt world, big time. Let me just run a couple minutes of this just so you can see her work. And there's Miss Lisa right there. Look at her camera work. Isn't it amazing? So, but look at that. She has painted on fabric, and she's doing a mystery quilt. So it's not too late if you want to hurry up and get going and get started with her in this mystery. And it's free. These wonderful, generous people on YouTube. Very, very nice. So that's Miss Lisa Capon Quilts. All right. Oh, then while we're up, I just thought I would show you. I got a little video from my son when I sent the packages.
Christmas!
I sent their Christmas gifts, and he went ahead and let them open them, which is so cute.
He's singing Christmas carols, decorating the tree. Yay, Donnie! Come here. Come here, you little rascal.
Oh.
He's been like that lately.
Oh.
Donnie, look. What's this? What's this? What's this? Looking. Whoa! What? It sounds like percussion. It's percussion. Donnie, look.
Donnie wants to get into the spice cabinet. He's like, I don't know about this.
More trouble till he heard this.
But isn't he a busy boy? Oh, he's so cute. So smart. And then Russell.
Oh, this is awesome, Mom. Say thank you, Nana. Look at the phone. Russell, look here.
Isn't he beautiful? Gosh, I miss him.
Are you excited about Pow Pow Christmas? And all these percussion instruments. Dang, there's some cool stuff in here. We got a little ratchet thing. We got a tambourine with the head on it.
My son's a drummer, so it was fun to share percussion instruments with the grandchildren.
Oh, we got bells. Mom, this is legit. And it's got the actual note names on it. A full octave, it looks like. That's cool. These are actually legitimate percussion instruments and not just some of those little toys.
I think Russell's going to be a drummer just like Daddy.
That is awesome. And then what's this underneath of all that? A busy board? Montessori toy.
They're going to be taking a trip up to come see me, so I made sure to get them what's called a busy board to have something quiet to work on in the car while they're driving. Because that's going to be a long drive for them. Let me see if I can show you the busy board that I sent them.
Look at all this stuff.
Here we go.
Wow.
Teaches them how to do buckles and all of that, but it's something they can play with in the car.
Thanks again, Dana. Johnny, come say bye.
Oh, he wants to get into everything they do. Isn't he cute? What a mess. All right. So that's my grandbabies because I haven't been showing you much. Oh, and there's one more thing I want to show you. Okay, hold on. Let me see. This is, and you can go look at this too. It's on YouTube, and it's called Strawberry Bank Museum. And they have an ice skating rink, and it's in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. And you can go on YouTube and watch the ice skating rink. And, oh, there's the Zamboni. It's going to get it ready for tonight's ice skating. They have ice skating almost every time, day or night, but it got a little warm today. So they got the Zamboni out there, and you can watch it live. And it's charming. Last night they had Courier and Ives dressed skaters so that you could just really enjoy a New England Christmas. Isn't that beautiful? And I love all the skaters. But anyway, this is on YouTube, and it's Strawberry Bank, Banke Museum of Portsmouth, New Hampshire. And they have this live streaming camera. And Mark found this, and now he's hooked me on it. We just love it. Because we'll never be able to ice skate down here in North Carolina, I don't think. All right. So that was my last site. And now let's come back to your show and tell. But I just thought I'd show you a couple fun things. Whoops, not that. Let me go back. Hold on. Let me go to this. Okay, let's see your stuff. First person up is Miss Alberta, who sent me some wonderful Christmas decorations and things she's done. Look at this. Isn't that wonderful? Beautiful quilt. Oh, look at this, a tree skirt. That's beautiful. Oh, a blueberry tree skirt. That's gorgeous. Oh, Merry Christmas. Look at that wonderful table runner. Look at this quilt. It looks like a paper piece quilt. I love it. Thank you so much, Miss Alberta. Now, let's see who is next. Okay. Miss Carol. Okay, and I'm still going to show you the Christmas block of the week because they're so beautiful. But wait till you see some of the new things she sent to us. I love the fabric she chose. Just beautiful fabrics. And I love her scrolls that she does. This woman, there's just, I don't know if there's anything she can't do. Isn't that amazing? You know, I'm really loving all of these embellished works, these little gems that people are doing, like Carol right here. Oh my gosh, that is a beautiful scroll. Oh, love that. The Magical Touch Studio. Then look, she carved these Christmas ornaments. Look at these. This is her poor little Christmas moose that lost an antler, so she's going to put a Christmas hat on him. But isn't this beautiful? So there's not much that Miss Carol cannot do. All right, I think we're back to the beginning. So thank you, Miss Carol, for all of those wonderful pictures. Here is Miss Charlene, and we have her Alex Anderson quilt along that she's working on. Look at this beautiful pieced background art quilt that she did. Okay, and one more. This here, look how good her Alex Anderson quilt along is coming. Isn't that wonderful? I mean, you've got New York Beauty, you have pineapple quilts. There's a lot of challenging piecing going on there. And she's done it beautifully. Okay, who is next? Next, I just have a couple little photos. Let's see. Oh, we had an exciting event here. This is Pilot Mountain. If any of you have watched the Andy Griffith Show, you heard of Mount Pilot. Well, this is the true Pilot Mountain that they were referring to in that show, because he lived in Mount Airy, which on the TV version was Mayberry. Well, this mountain caught fire, and it's not a huge mountain as far as mountains go, but look at this. These are actual photos from our Pilot Mountain fire. It burned over 1,000 acres, and luckily it's finally contained. That's a beautiful picture, but it was a scary event. Luckily, due to the brave firefighters, they got it under control after 3 to 4 days. And we're not in California. It's a really interesting mountain. It's like something that pushed up and everything else eroded around it, and it's really interesting. And it's called Pilot Mountain because it acted as a guide for early settlers. They could see it from so far around. Here's another fire. So that was a little scary. And there were a couple days where I didn't go outside because it was too smoky. But boy, did it give us, this is from my yard right here, gave us a beautiful sunset. This is my daughter, and I was talking earlier about filigree, and I made her this dress for her homecoming. And this is her in 1996. And now her daughter is clamoring to wear that jacket. So I think that is so cute. Okay, and then here's my Mark after his colonoscopy. So he did so well. This picture Pat Fry put on the website. How cute is a pink flamingo holiday tree? My gosh, that's so cute. Okay. And here are a couple more. This is my daughter down in Lexington. This was her sunrise. So the smoke went miles and miles away, because that's at least 30 to 40 miles south of Pilot Mountain. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Here is another shot, and this is sunrise. I think it's sunrise, but look at that. Then my daughter's decorated her house for Christmas. Here's my daughter Katie, who went up to play and babysit for Russell. And this is a wreath my Katie made. She is an artist and has craft stands. She's a farmer too, and she made these. And here is her craft stand at a big craft show she's in every December. And she said she had her best day ever. She makes goat milk soap and hand lotions, and then she also does all kinds of crafts. And she had a great day yesterday. So congratulations, Katie. Then here is my grandson who joined the Marines, and he gets to graduate early in January and spend 10 days with his parents, and I know they have missed him terribly. Then my one daughter had a mammogram, and she said, Mom, look at this quilt. It was in the room, and that is so cute. What a cute idea. Then here's the face of one of those Santas she made. There's another face. She's so talented. Carol, I think it's Carol does felting, and Linda McCollum does felting. So love those. All right, now let's see where we're going to go. Here we have Debbie's. Okay, we've seen that love her handwork, and her dog. Is that cute? And the cardinal and the hanger. Then this is the 3 blocks of her Christmas block of the week. But look, she got it all completed. I love it, and I love her refreshing take. She told me what the fabric family was, and now I've forgotten. But isn't that just cute as can be? And I love how your sashing stars really stand out. That's wonderful, hon. Great job. Great job. Okay. Now let's see who is next. Diana Wright. I was telling her that, I'm missing 2 of her pictures. Darn it, I will have them here for next week. But look at the amazing quilting. This was a customer quilt that she had a bunch of hours in on, maybe like 100 hours on this one. Isn't that beautiful? So I'm sorry I don't have her 2 other photos. I'll have them next week. But it's so good to see her. I told her everybody's missed her because her quilting is second to none. And we've missed it. Dolores, I left her safari pictures in. And, pardon me, here, I'll do a slideshow of her safari pictures, and then her Christmas block of the week. I love her work. Pardon me, I've got a little pickle. Beautiful job. Beautiful job. Okay. Now let's see who is next. We have Jody. And here is her king-size flannel quilt. Is that going to be comfortable this winter or what? I love it. I love all the plaids and the homespun look. That is, that says Winter Ski Lodge. Then here, Did I get the picture of this? Oh, I don't think I did. She has turned her Christmas block of the week into a table runner. And I think it's wonderful. She didn't get to finish everything, so she turned it into a table runner, which is beautiful because she's always so busy. This is Kathy Kaplan, who just sent these pictures to us, and she took a class on collage quilting. I think the teacher was like Nancy Smith, something like that. But isn't that beautiful? And look at this. That makes me want to try something like that. Isn't that amazing? I love it. So thank you for sending those in, Kathy. Kathy Kaplan, thank you so much. And let's see. Miss Mary, it's all of her block of the week. And wait to see them all put together in a quilt top. They are great fun. Thank you, thank you. And then Miss Melanie, and one more look at her beautiful studio, and or should I say her and her husband's studio, now that he, the engineer, has turned into a quilter in his retirement. That is a beautiful quilt he made. All right. And now we'll go down to Miss Polly. I am so taken with her art. She is developing a voice, and I love it. This is her. We did a Thursday night art project of making an art quilt with varied and unique backgrounds. And this is beautiful. And I love how her quilting echoes the shapes and gives that feeling of movement to her quilt. Beautiful job, Miss Polly. All right, let's see now who else. Susan Berg, another new volunteer of pictures. Isn't this amazing? And this looks like, oh, she's done a great background. And then I assume it'll be some kind of applique top. That's wonderful. I love cutting out fabric, putting it together. And look at this. Talk about movement. Beautiful. These are wonderful works of art. So thank you for sharing those with us, Susan Berg. Thank you. All right. Now, who else? I think that's the last one of now. And just remember with the holiday, here, I'll just show you whoops, that's too big to show. So let me go back to this. Just remember, there are bunches and bunches of holiday crafts that you can create. And each week, we're going to focus on as many as we can. So, all right. Thank you for the show and tell. Wasn't it fun to have new videos? And I thank you from the bottom of my heart. New photographs. Please continue sending me your photos of your work, things you love, whatever you'd like to share. Our time to quilt. Whoops. Let me say, no. Okay. And I even have my glasses on. I can't use that as an excuse. Our time to quilt at twc.com. And I told you we'd have a lot today. So we're going to go out with what I promised, showing you how to remove paper off of the back. Number one, get settled in a comfortable machine, a comfortable recliner, comfortable chair. Get a garbage can or garbage bag right beside you and put on a great movie. Those are the most important parts of taking off the paper. Oh, thank you, honey. You know what? I Pearl and June, I think she does have an Etsy shop, and it would be called Pearl and June. Those are her two goats that gave her the milk for her wonderful soaps and crafts. She is so talented. And like Carol, she's a felt artist. So you can just take and pull the paper off like this. There's another way you can do it. And this is why we shorten the stitches. Okay? This is why we shorten the stitches. Because when you are yanking on this paper to remove it, you're stressing each of those sewn joints. Now, if you want to make it just a little easier for yourself, you can take one of these fine tip bottles and just run a bead of water along the stitching. Okay, especially where it sticks in little corners like that. And that will soften it up. So then when you come back, you can just peel it off like that. Makes it just a little bit easier. And there you go. So whichever way you want to do it, you can use a little bottle of water just to soften the paper right there, or you can just yank it off really good. Now, what I do is I keep a pack of safety pins beside me, because in case when you pull that off, you see a little seam open up, put a safety pin right where you see the problem with the seam. And that way, when you're all done with the paper, removing the paper, you know exactly where to go back and do any repairs before you do the quilting. All right? And I just thought I would show you up close for this quilt. And you'll see the holly. Whoops. You'll see the holly and the berry buttons I made. And it was quilted with metallic thread where it shows. And I thought that would make it a little glimmer. Okay. All right. Well, I knew this would be a long show. I had it packed full. And get ready for next week, where we will again explore the world of Christmas crafting, because it's the best time of the year. And, you know, we might not be able to visit people, and we might miss Christmases of long ago. But you know what? We can celebrate with each other and with ourselves all of the good memories that we're making right now. So I love you to bits. Thank you for joining me. It was a fun day. And I will see you next week with more crafts. Take good care of yourself. Do something really good for you. Okay? Any other questions? Anybody? Oh, thank you, Miss Debbie. Thank you, thank you. But thank you. And let me write down my daughter's site, Pearl and June. And I know she's on Etsy. And she gets soap customers. She does lip gloss and lotions, and she gets customers who have been with her for years and years. So anyway, well, thank you so much. Next week, I'll have at least 2 completed swirl trees. And don't forget your patterns. If you want, email me for a pattern. Go on the site. You want a little black dress? Oh, I'm going to brag on my daughter with that little black dress. That she wore that in 1996. She put it on last week, and she could almost zip it all the way up. We were like, wow, I would have loved to have been able to do that long after graduation. Pretty awesome. All right, so take good care of yourselves. I will see you Thursday night. For the art quilt that we're working on. Let me see. Oh, that's why it wouldn't open. I had it pinned. Thank you so much for the ladies who suggested I redo the top. And so it's not finished yet. It's still a work in progress. Like I told you, it's still a juvenile, and it's going through the gawky stage. So, but I will be getting there with it. And thank you for all your help on it. We'll work on it some more Thursday night. Thank you, and I can't wait to see you next week when we'll show you more treasures for the holidays. You're the best. Thank you, everyone. Have a great, great week. Bye-bye, guys. See you then.